Hey guys, I'm Mariah Coz.
And I'm Megan Mins, and we run femtrepreneur.co.
And in this video, we're going to be talking about 4 different marketing and business growth experiments that we're going to do right now in order to grow our brand and kind of grow the exposure for our business. If you're feeling kind of like stuck with where your business is at right now, whether you're just starting or you already have a successful business, but you kind of feel like you've hit a plateau somewhere, it might be time to just test something new. And that's exactly what we're doing right now in our own business. So we wanted to talk about some of the things that we're going to be implementing over the next couple weeks and months that will hopefully help us grow our business once again.
Yeah, I'm excited to kind of throw back the curtain a little bit and reveal
Yeah.
some of that. So if y'all like this type of video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up while you're watching to let us know. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you're new here.
This is the thing. I think let's just be frank about, what's going on in our own business. This isn't like a scripted thing or anything, but I would say it's fair to say that we felt a little bit stagnant in Femtrepreneur in the last couple of months. I know I personally have felt like we're just doing more of the same. And
we kind of hit a plateau where it's like all of these marketing strategies that are super effective got us to a certain level. And we kind of had a conversation recently where we were like, we can't just do the same to then reach the next level. We kind of need to start trying new things, testing out new marketing tactics to try to get us to the next level.
And basically, if you guys aren't familiar and this is your first time watching us, we run an online course business. So we sell online training courses. Our biggest flagship program is Launch Your Signature Course, but we also have other smaller ones. And our whole model is creating and selling these online courses. So what we've been doing up until this point in order to grow our email list and make those sales is things like webinars, which work really well. We've done giveaways. We've done, we do blogging with content upgrades in order to grow our list. We do all these different marketing strategies, but honestly, in the last couple months, we've just been doing the same things over and over again. And it shows the same results. So like you said, like Megan said, we hit a plateau where it's okay, we're getting the same amount of subscribers every month, but not more. We're making the same amount of sales every month, but not more. How are we going to reach new people? And one of the things that I've always known about our business is that what we've been able to achieve with the level of revenue is very unique because we have a really small audience. To some people, 20,000 subscribers might sound like a lot, but for the amount of revenue that we do, it's not. It's most people would be like, how the hell are you doing that? With such a relatively small audience. So for us, we're really honestly trying to just grow our exposure and grow our larger audience. Not even with the we want to grow our list, obviously, but not even with that particular goal in mind, but more of just how can we grow our brand awareness? How can we get in front of new people who don't even know we exist yet? How can we reach more people and maybe they'll find us and be inspired by us and then, just essentially in this kind of usually I have very concrete goals, but honestly, with the things we're trying to do now, we're just trying to grow our awareness, I think.
Yeah, well, that was when we launched our signature course back in the spring, and it went really great. But one of the things we kept hearing was, wow, this is amazing. Why haven't I heard of you before? People were stumbling upon us for the first time and were amazed that they hadn't heard of us before. And so I think that was the first moment where I think we were like, oh, we might want to fix that, so I totally agree.
We need to get out there more.
Yeah. So before we dig into the 4 things we're doing, I want a disclaimer that these are experiments. We think they'll work and we hope they will work, but we don't really know yet. So we're kind of just letting you peek, behind what our strategies are. And then, later on we can update you on if they worked or not. But we do also have a little freebie for everyone that is 11 ways. So we're going to be talking about 4, but this will be 11 ways to get more exposure for your website or blog. And we will have a link to that below this video if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're watching on our website, femtrepreneur.co, there will be a button below this as well. So definitely check that out if you're feeling like we are, where you kind of need some fresh strategies and you want to experiment with new ideas. So anyways, I just wanted to disclaimer that they should work, but they are experiments. We haven't really proven it to work in our business yet.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like we have the I wouldn't say like the luxury, but we make it a point to take those risks so
Yeah.
that we can figure that out. And I think a lot of people just keep doing what works. And that's great advice. Like if you figure out something that works for you, keep doing it. But at a certain point, I think you're going to find that keep doing what works gets either really boring to you or
Yeah.
just leads to the same results. And eventually you're going to want to take it to the next level. And I really believe that everything we're going to talk about right now could help you whether you're making $500 a month in your business and you want to get to $1,000 a month, or if you're like us and you're making six figures a month and you want to get to, you know, a higher number than that or something. So I think wherever you're at, some of the things that we're going to be talking about are still going to apply to you wherever you feel stuck. Like the whole point is to just take it to the next level.
Yeah. So let's dig in. So number one.
Number one is we're launching a podcast.
Woohoo! Notice our new microphones.
Mm-hmm. Matching microphones
we're twins now. Yeah, we are launching a podcast called The Femtrepreneur Show. And when this video gets released, the podcast is supposed to launch next week. So we are super excited about it. It'll be launching on August 23rd, right? 24th? 23rd. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned for that, everyone. But why did we start a podcast? Obviously to gain exposure, but kind of what was the thought process for us?
One of the things that we were thinking about, and what I always think about, is like, where are there already audiences that exist? Where are people hanging out already? And how can we meet them there, right? Like, how can we join the communities or the groups or the platforms that our audiences already hang out on, but they just don't know that they're our audience yet. Like they don't know about us yet, but we know about them and we're going to find them and seek them out. And so when we're thinking about podcasting, we're just thinking there's this whole audience of people who are listening to podcasts, specifically listening to podcasts about online marketing or online business and all that kind of stuff. And they're already there and they're already looking at iTunes and looking for similar podcasts to what they love listening to every day. And we really want to meet them there and find them and have them find us. And then the other thing too is that I heard, my friend Paul Jarvis, he was talking about how to him, the reason he loves podcasting is because it's this one like actually passive form of content. So like with a video, you can't watch a video and drive your car.
Yeah.
Please don't do that. Yeah. Or like if, you can't read a blog post and drive your car or whatever. You can't like cook dinner and be reading a blog post at the same time. And he was giving all these examples of how like these other types of content are great, but they do require this like focused attention. Whereas like, I know for me, I can listen to a podcast and like work on some other, build a website at the same time. You know what I mean? Like I can do that at the same time. And I feel like that's something that we want to tap into is just like people can listen to us wherever.
Yeah. And I think also just like you were touching on, providing the same value in a different medium because we've been pretty much exclusively blog based, like it's written text. We do webinars and all that, but our consistent content has been written form. And I think we've had great success, but not everyone wants to sit and read a blog post and not everyone wants to sit and watch a video. Hopefully you do if you're watching this now. But, I think there's a large audience, just like you said, who's looking to fill the gaps. Maybe they're working out or walking or cooking. I love listening to podcasts while I cook dinner. So I think we're just hoping that this will be a great way to be exposed to more people who hadn't heard of us before. And also even our existing followers supplement what we've already been providing with a new medium. So I'm excited.
And we'll build a connection too, because I think I love writing and I'm like a pretty good writer because that's what I've been doing forever. But you get to a certain point where again, you feel like you almost hit a wall with like, I can only connect with someone so much through writing and emails and blog posts, and you guys hearing our voices and seeing our faces on the video is a totally different experience. And I think we just want to foster more and more connection and more like for like intimacy, I guess, with you guys. Like,
well, think
to
about
not be creepy.
all the big social media platforms that are so popular right now, like Instagram stories, Snapchat, Facebook Live, like that is a face connection or an audio. Like there's just more of you get to know the person way faster than reading a blog post. So If you want to find more about our podcast when it does launch, go to thefemshow.com. And all of these links for anything we talk about today will be in like the notes of the video or on our blog post. So just FYI, if you want to know more about the podcast when it launches, check it out. So number 2 for what we're going to be doing. I'm excited about this one, but you're more of the expert on it. So definitely.
Oh, I'm totally not an expert.
Oh, well, you use it more than I do.
Yeah, so like I recently, honestly, very recently, like I had always heard of the platform called Medium, which if you're not familiar with it, it's basically a blogging platform, but tons of people can post content there. And then that content can get shared and liked within the community. It can get, people have Medium accounts and they follow different writers and they follow different tags and categories. So essentially your content has a sort of built-in audience that it can potentially be shared to, and if it gets enough hearts, it gets bumped up to like the top of the front page and stuff like that. I honestly just recently started using it a lot, but I always knew it existed.
Yeah.
And this has been one of those things that I think has been on our to-do list for like 2 years.
Like literally probably, since you hired me, it was like, let's make this
publish on Medium. Like it's taken so long. Yeah. And so finally, just in the last like month, I would say I started using Medium as a user. So I now every single morning, instead of like looking at Reddit or looking at Instagram, I find myself going to Medium because it's much like juicier content. It's like better writing, it's not like crap. It's just like, and it's the stuff that is showing up at the top of your feed is like stuff that has been like, oh my God, this thing got 2,000 likes and it's like this incredible, piece of writing or whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I found myself using it more as a user, and that's kind of why in the last couple of weeks I was like, we have to get on this. And so basically it's not any more real work than what you're already doing. So the thing to note is that it's not like Mariah is going to be like Mariah is going to be going and writing now all new content for Medium. Right. Not at all. It's just going to be republishing. Everything that goes on our blog is going to be published again on Medium as well.
Yeah, I think that'll be really, I'm curious to see how it affects like our traffic, or if we see like really good engagement there. I think it'll be really interesting. So
I feel like it has the potential, like, it's rare that like your blog post that's on your own website would like go viral, right? Because like it would have to get social shared, or it'd have to go viral on Facebook. Like it'd have to go viral on a different platform. Whereas like with Medium, there's always that kind of chance that something that we write could pick up a lot of momentum and get shared so many times that it has that exposure. And again, in terms of list building, what you can do on Medium is the same way you would do it as a guest post. You have a link within the article saying, if you want a free checklist about this, click, and it goes to a landing page on your own website. That's definitely what we're going to be doing in terms of list building. But more so than that, I would say it's just about getting like us out there, and specifically me as the author of these articles, getting out there as like a writer and people clicking through, I guess. And even if they only read our stuff on Medium, they're still getting value.
Definitely. So those are the first 2 things. It's the podcast and then Medium. And then the third thing we're going to be doing is publishing ebooks on Amazon. So you want to kind of elaborate a little bit more?
Yes. So I was at a conference a couple of weeks ago in Las Vegas, and it was good. There was a lot of good like presentations. There was a lot of good speakers. But one of them that really, really stood out to me was my now friend Chandler Bolt, who runs Self-Publishing School, and he's awesome. And he did this presentation that was so good. Like, I'm going to try to get him on the podcast and like do a webinar for us, because it was so awesome and so step-by-step. And he was talking about, not only was it like helpful, but it was also really inspiring of why it is really important and helpful to have these small ebooks on Amazon if your ultimate goal is to sell online courses. So he basically gave this whole presentation that was about like, and by the end of this presentation, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is our number one priority. We have to do this, because he's getting hundreds and hundreds of leads every single day from people who are just reading his little $1 ebooks or $2 ebooks. And then there's content upgrades like inside the ebook, right? So maybe it'll be like, click here to get a worksheet that goes with chapter 2, or click here to get like a graphic that explains it, or a video of the tech about setting up your first landing page or something like that. And there's actually like content upgrades inside the ebook. And so what
smart.
it does, it's so smart. And one of the things that he said that he did that I thought was really nifty was like, he said that, you know how on Amazon you can have like a preview, like a free preview, so people can see like the first 10 pages. Within the first 10 pages, there's like links to free things, and there's even a link to like go and get the audio version of his book for free. So people are seeing that and being like, oh, well, I'm not even going to buy this ebook for $2. I'm going to go and download the audiobook for free. And he's like, do it. I just want your email address.
Yeah, like he's not doing it for the revenue. And I think that's like a perspective that you need to have for this strategy to work, is you're not selling this ebook on Amazon for like it shouldn't be expensive. Like the $2, like you're not trying to make all this money from it. It's really the goal of just putting them in your circle and getting their email and having them be a part of your audience and exposure.
Exactly. And I mean, he is making passive income from his ebooks on Amazon. I think he has, I'm not sure how many he has. I don't want to misquote Chandler's business, but something like 5 different books, and they're all selling 200 copies a day. So it's not like nothing, it's,
then it adds up. So it definitely
adds up to like maybe, a couple $1,000 a day or something, enough to like keep your funnels running and everything. Yeah. But it is a little bit of passive income, but it's not where the real money is made. It's a small percentage of, just like Megan said, changing your mindset to being like, I don't really care about the couple bucks I make from each book, but when those people sign up, a certain percentage of them are then going to buy my premium course. Yeah. And so it's really a good way to get exposure to an entirely new audience. Amazon has millions and millions and millions of readers who are just scrolling through looking for recommended books. Yeah. And your book is going to show up in these like related titles, or like when someone buys something related to blogging, they're going to see our book that's like also related to this or whatever. And so it's just kind of this like whole other audience. And I think that's exactly the same thing as podcasting or Medium, which already has a huge readership, going to where these people already are. You know what I mean? Like your audience is out there. Stop trying to like, go and get them one by one to come to you. Go to them. Yeah. Like go to them. Stop trying to like, beg them to come to you. And so there's already all those people on all of these platforms that we're talking about. And our goal is just to tap into that. And so one of the things that we're doing, and again, I want you guys to know that this isn't like, oh, Mariah is now going to be writing brand new books. Like what I'm going to do is we have a free email course. And so that's going to be packaged up. It's about 120 pages when you put it all together into book format. That's going to be packaged up as one of our ebooks. I also had already written an ebook, a very like juicy and detailed ebook about creating and selling courses. What we ended up doing was creating Launch Your Signature course, which is our program. But I do still have the sort of not as fleshed out ebook version of that. So that's just going to be, this is content that we already have, and we're just going to be repurposing it in this medium. And I want you guys to think about that too. If you already have 10 blog posts about a topic, can you compile them and put them on Amazon for 99 cents or for $1.99 or anything like that? And if honestly, like, even if you just want to have a link in the preview that's like, if you want to get this as a free email course, you can go here. If you want to download it all at once as an ebook, it's going to cost $1.99. People do that all the time. Yeah. I love that idea. I'm really excited about that one. That to me has like so much potential, and it really is self-sustaining once you get those first couple of reviews, those first couple purchases. I think it can be really self-sustaining after that.
Yeah. Woohoo. That'll be fun. I can't wait for that to happen. And I'm really excited. Obviously, we're very excited about all of these methods, because I think we've said that about each one. But the fourth one to me, for some reason, is almost the most exciting. The podcast and number 4 might be on the same level for me. But the fourth thing that we're doing is we're actually going to start using Facebook groups, which, if you know Mariah, is like something we never thought would happen, because Mariah historically hasn't really ever used Facebook. And
Bev made my Facebook page. So
yeah, Beverly is a member of our team. We call her Bev, and she's a big advocate for Facebook groups. So it's been a conversation we've been having probably for like at least 6 months, kind of behind the scenes gradually.
Yeah.
And we actually had one of our friends, Caitlin Batcher, on an episode of our podcast. And I think that was when we really, really decided like, okay, because she's a Facebook groups expert, and we kind of talked through the nitty gritty of it all. And she really convinced us that that's what we need to do. So why don't you...
And I talked to Caitlin again, like I said, a couple weeks ago, I was at this business conference in Las Vegas, and talked to Caitlin that whole weekend, because we were both there, about Facebook groups and how to use them and what to do. And I feel like between the podcast, talking to Caitlin in real life about it, and then kind of because it was so on top of my mind that whole time, I was asking everyone else that was sort of there at the conference about their experience with Facebook groups. And I just kept hearing again and again how valuable they are. And that so many, again, if your ultimate goal is to create and sell online courses, just these benefits, for example, like having the ability to get feedback from your Facebook group, you can actually have like polls or surveys kind of like in the group. So you can post something and be like, what's your biggest struggle? Or like, what is the webinar that you'd be most interested in? Here's 2 or 3 choices. And just have your audience tell you without it being this like, please fill out this complicated survey. You have to click through 10 screens. You know what I mean? It's just this very like easy way to get feedback. Not to mention, people are literally posting about their problems and questions all day, and you can just create freebies for them, or create like a new webinar that's based on their questions, or like I feel like it's going to take away a lot of the guesswork that I have now when I'm like sitting in my own head being like, what should I make now? Like how should I, like, do people need the first steps or do they need advanced steps? Like where is everyone? And I think it will just kind of like give us a better sort of like, ear to the ground of like, what's really going on.
Yeah. Well, and I think having like a free public Facebook group too, what it's going to do for us is also give us the opportunity to communicate more regularly. So we love emails. We have no shame in sending emails out to our email list. But at the same time, like, man, sending an email every day, or like you can't really, unless you're like closing a course or something. Like, people don't want multiple emails from you in one day. And even some people get really peeved by like multiple emails in a week. So I know that that's something most business owners, if you're email marketing, like that can feel like something you're really worried about, is like, am I communicating too much? Like, I don't know. And Facebook groups, you can communicate way more often, like put in posts multiple times a day. No one's going to care. People will actually like it, and I think that was something we really wanted. Was, if you haven't noticed through all of these, we're hoping to make a greater connection with our community, and we want to really we feel like we give a lot of great content, but we want to really give even more and be a resource and help everyone out and form that connection. And so we're really excited about Facebook groups, being able to answer those questions in a Facebook group instead of people having to like wait until we can email them back, or, being able to have everyone help each other instead of just relying on us or Google searches. Like, the community can also... A community of course creators has a lot of knowledge. And so obviously we'll be there to help and answer questions, but it'll also be a great opportunity for people to help each other and even give complimentary information that we may not even have. So I'm just really excited to like build that relationship, and be able to communicate more frequently, more regularly. I think it'll be really, really good.
I think it's all about like having those touch points, and that's why, like, if you can only send an email once a week or like twice a week at the most, or depending on your emailing style, but being able to connect with someone and show up for them in some way, help them in some way, provide value every single day without sending an email, I think is really exciting. The other thing, a big reason for us was that I need a platform to live stream on. And it used to be Periscope for a long time. It was I was doing daily Periscopes and had tons of engagement and tons of followers there. And then when Facebook Live came out, Periscope really took a hit, and my audience there wasn't hanging out anymore. So I was going to just be live streaming originally from like my page, but it didn't really, that wasn't really what I wanted to do. I wanted to do it in a structured group where, if you come to the group, it's because you're interested in creating and selling online courses. Our group, the podcast, the group, everything we're doing is all for people who want to change their lives, change their students' lives by creating and selling and launching their own online courses. So the group is going to be really focused like that. There's, 100 groups that are for general online business, online marketing, but ours is only for people who really want to hone in on creating and selling online courses as their business model. And being able to do live streams in a group of people who are explicitly interested in that is really important to us. And then the sort of like overall result that we're hoping for is that the people who are super engaged in that group will become our customers down the line. So what I kept hearing from all different people at this conference and just in general was like, if you have a group and it's specific to the topic that your course is about, that you launch maybe once or twice a year, you're going to find that tons of those customers come right from that group. Like the conversion rate of people who buy from that engaged group is going to be much higher than just like your overall conversion rate from your email list.
Yeah, I think it'll be really good. So if you're interested, stay tuned and check back with us. I'm sure we'll be sharing when that happens. But so these were just the 4 things that we're doing for Femtrepreneur to try to increase our own exposure. So if you're interested in 7 more examples of what you could be doing, we do have that free checklist for you that I already mentioned, or cheat sheet. So either look in the link below this video on YouTube or check out the button below this video on our blog post, and you'll be able to get that list of 11 ideas that you could use. And you could go to femtrepreneur.co/marketing experiments. I'll have to learn how to like say links verbally. I have no idea. And that is the blog post for this in case you're curious. But I hope this was helpful for everyone. If you like this type of video, again, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us know, especially as we're starting to do more video content, what kind of videos you'd like to see.
Absolutely. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Woo-hoo! So excited. Well, thanks everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys.